first chapter of physics, which is vector. Okay, so first term is physical quantity. So do you know what is definition of physical quantity? A quantity is said to be physical quantity if it can be measured. Okay, these physical quantities are classified into two types. First type is vector quantity and second type is scalar quantity. Okay, so any physical quantity which has only magnitude is known as scalar quantity. Example will be mass, length, time, temperature, current, and many more. Okay, a quantity which has only magnitude. Here a physical quantity current. This quantity has magnitude as well as direction, but it is a scalar quantity because a quantity will be vector if it has magnitude as well as direction and should obey vector rule of addition. So this physical quantity current have magnitude as well as direction, but it does not follow vector algebra. That's why it is a scalar quantity. Okay, so for a vector quantity it should have magnitude as well as direction. And it should follow vector rule of addition. Examples are force, mass is a scalar quantity, force, displacement, acceleration, linear momentum, and many more. So these are those physical quantity which has magnitude as well as direction and which obey vector rule of addition. So any quantity which have magnitude as well as direction and should follow vector rule of addition, that quantity will be vector. Okay, so now we will study about some kinds of vector. Okay, first type is zero vector or null vector. Okay, if suppose any vector has zero magnitude. Okay, if there are two vector, vector A and vector B, and if both vector A and B are equal vector, it means magnitude of both vector is same and direction of both vector is same. It means theta 1 and theta 2 is same. Suppose this is vector A and this is vector B. Both vector are same. Now if we find A minus B, then it will be a zero vector. Okay, so a vector is said to be zero vector if its magnitude is 0. Okay, next type of vector is equal vector. Okay, so second type is equal vector. two or more vectors are said to be equal vector if their magnitude and direction are same. If suppose there are three vectors, vector A, vector B and vector C, and magnitude of all the vector are same and direction of all the vectors are same, then these vectors are said to be equal vectors. Okay. Next type of vector is a negative vector. If suppose there is a vector A of magnitude A and direction is theta at an angle theta with the positive x-axis. Okay. If we are going to reverse this vector, it means magnitude of vector will remain same and direction will be just reverse, just opposite to the given vector, then this vector is negative vector of a given vector. So negative vector of a given vector is a vector having magnitude equal to the given vector and direction will be just opposite to the given vector. Next type of vector is unit vector. So unit vector of a given vector is a vector having magnitude equal to unit and direction will be along the given vector. Suppose there is a vector A. Now we have to find unit vector of vector A. Then direction of unit vector will be same the direction of the given vector, but the magnitude of unit vector should be 1. So unit vector is a vector having magnitude equal to 1 and direction along the given vector. Okay. Now next type is, so we can write unit vector of any vector will be vector divided by magnitude of that vector. Okay. So we can find unit vector of any given vector which will be equal to that vector divided by its magnitude. Okay. And I cap, j cap, k cap are standard unit vector for x-axis, y-axis and z-axis. Next type, coplanar vectors. Two or more vectors are said to be coplanar if they lie in the same plane. So if the triple product of this vector is 0, it means these three vectors are coplanar. Triple product, it means cross product of any two vector and dot product with the third vector. Now we are going to see next topic, graphical representation of a vector. So we are graphically represent the vector with the help of arrow. This point is head of arrow, this point is tail of arrow, and length of this arrow represent magnitude of vector and direction of this arrow represent direction of vector. Means suppose there is a body and we are drawing an arrow of magnitude of length, suppose 10 centimeter. So we can say a 10 Newton force is acting on this body and direction of arrow is towards rightward. So we can say direction of force vector is towards rightward. So graphically vectors are represented with the help of arrow, where length of arrow represent magnitude of vector and direction of arrow represent direction of vector. Now we are going to see next topic, angle between two vectors. If suppose there are two vectors like vector A and vector B, direction of vector A is along x-axis and direction of vector B is at an angle theta with the horizontal, and we have to find angle between vector A and vector B. This point is the tail of vector A and this point is tail of vector B. And now if suppose we have to calculate angle between two vectors, so first of all we will make tail to tail combination or head to head combination of both vectors. Tail to tail combination means what? The tail of both the vectors should be at the common point. And how it will be possible? Suppose this is vector A, we can shift any vector in space without changing its magnitude and its direction. So if suppose there is a vector A, so we can shift it to this point. Magnitude and direction should remain same. So if suppose both the vector A and B are at the same point, means tail of both the vector are at the same point, then two angle will form between them, this angle and this angle. So this angle is smaller than this angle, so smaller angle will represent angle between two vector. Okay. So there are some questions in which you have to find angle between two vectors. First question is, there is a vector A along horizontal direction and another vector B along horizontal direction. You have to find theta, it means angle between A and B. In next question, question number 2, if suppose there is a vector A and there is a vector B, now you have to find angle between A and B. In next question, if suppose there is a vector A and there is a vector B, now you have to find angle between vector A and vector B. Suppose vector A and vector B, this angle is 30 degree. You have to calculate theta, angle between vector A and vector B. If suppose there is a vector A and vector B and this angle is 120 degree, you have to find angle between both vector A and B. Okay, so here there are 5 questions. You have to practice it. After that your understanding will be better to determine angle between vector A and B. Now let us come on the next topic. Next topic is addition of two vectors. So we are going to deal triangle law of addition. Okay, triangle law of addition. There are various methods like parallelogram law and polygon law. So we are going to see triangle law of addition. If suppose there are two vectors, vector A and vector B. Magnitude of vector A is A and magnitude of vector B is B, and direction of vector A is towards horizontal and direction of vector B is at an angle theta with the horizontal. So triangle law of addition states that if we will add two vectors, then finally resultant quantity will also be a vector quantity. It means we can say if we add two arrow, then finally we will get a new arrow. If we will add two vector quantity, then we will get a vector quantity. Okay, so if we are adding two arrow, so we will place tail of second vector on head of first vector. We will place tail of second vector on head of first vector, and now we will join tail of first vector with the head of second vector. This vector is a resultant vector. So this vector is resultant of A vector plus B vector. So if we have to find magnitude of resultant vector, it means we will find length of this arrow. And if we have to find direction of resultant vector, it means we will find direction of this arrow. And this angle is given theta. Now we will draw a perpendicular, so it will be converted into a right angle triangle like this. This side is B, this side is theta, so this length will be equal to B cos theta. It means this side will be equal to B cos theta, and this side will be equal to B sin theta. So now we have a right angle triangle in which length of this side is A, this side A and B cos theta. It means A plus B cos theta, and length of this side is B sin theta. So length of this side will be B sin theta. And if we have to calculate resultant vector, it means this vector, so we will find length of this arrow and we will find direction or angle of this angle. Okay, if we will find direction of resultant vector, so we will find angle alpha. This is the right angle triangle in which length of base is A plus B cos theta and length of perpendicular is B sin theta. Now we have to find direction. We have to find hypotenuse. So we know that Pythagoras theorem, in the right angle triangle, hypotenuse square is equal to perpendicular square plus base square. So it will be h square will be equal to B sin theta square plus A plus B cos theta square, and hypotenuse is R. So we can write here R square is equal to B square sin square theta, plus we can expand it with the formula A plus B whole square. which will be equal to a square plus b square cos square theta plus 2ab cos theta. So we can write this r square is equal to a square plus we can take common b square from both the terms. So b square will be common and it will be sin square theta plus cos square theta plus 2ab cos theta. And we know that sin square theta plus cos square theta is 1. So we can write here r square will be equal to a square plus b square plus 2ab cos theta. So formula of resultant vector will be equal to root over a square plus b square plus 2ab cos theta. This is the important formula of this chapter. We will use this formula several times, so you should know about this formula. So magnitude of resultant will be equal to root over a square plus b square plus 2ab cos theta, where theta is the angle between vector a and vector b. So theta is the angle between vector a and vector b. Now if we have to find direction of resultant vector, so we will calculate this angle alpha. Here this is a right angle triangle, this side is b sin theta and this side is a plus b cos theta, and we have to calculate this angle alpha. So we can write in this right angle triangle tan alpha will be equal to b sin theta divided by a plus b cos theta. So alpha will be equal to tan inverse b sin theta divided by a plus b cos theta, where alpha is the direction of resultant vector and alpha is an angle made by the resultant vector with vector a. So we can say resultant vector is making an angle alpha with vector a in anti-clockwise direction. Okay, so this is the topic of triangle of addition. So through this topic we can understand here magnitude of resultant will be root over a square plus b square plus 2ab cos theta, and for direction formula is tan alpha is equal to b sin theta divided by a plus b cos theta. In this formula we can conclude some points. If suppose we have to find maximum value of resultant vector, okay, if we have to find maximum value of magnitude of resultant, so if we are considering two vector a and b, so length of a and b are fixed. Now maximum value of resultant depends on angle theta. If suppose r will be maximum when, if value of cos theta will be maximum which is equal to 1. So if cos theta is 1, or we can say theta is equal to 0 degree, because we know that cos 0 is 1. So if theta is 0 degree, it means angle between vector a and b is 0 degree, then resultant of both vector will be maximum, which will be equal to root over a square plus b square plus 2ab, and we can write here this is a plus b ka whole square. So we can write here maximum value of resultant will be equal to a plus b. It means maximum value of resultant will be equal to sum of magnitude of both vectors. Similarly, if value of cos theta is minimum, then magnitude of resultant vector will be minimum. So if resultant vector is minimum, it means magnitude of resultant is minimum. This implies that cos theta, value of cos theta will be minimum, which is equal to -1. Okay, so if cos theta is -1, then r will be minimum, which will be equal to root over a square plus b square plus 2ab, and cos theta, value of cos theta is -1. So r minimum will be equal to root over a square plus b square minus 2ab. So magnitude of resultant vector, minimum value of magnitude of resultant vector will be mod a minus b, because we can write here, we can write this like root over a minus b का whole square, which will be equal to a minus b. Okay, so this is the topic of resultant vector of magnitude a and b. So this is the part 1 of this chapter. In next part we will discuss about subtraction and product of two vector and resolution. Rest of the topics will be covered in next part. Okay, so this is the part 1 of the vector. So in this part we have covered 2 or 3 topics like angle between two vector and a triangle of addition. Now you can practice some question based on these topics. Okay, thank you.